Ryan McDonagh, captain of the New York Rangers, USA Hockey, born Wisconsin. And I assume you went to Wisconsin following Mike Richter's footsteps. Did he have big footprints there in Wisconsin, or?
Yeah, he did. I mean, obviously, everybody knows his career path and everything that he accomplished, and all the wins and records he held here for New York. They're still standing there at Wisconsin. So
Special.
Pretty special collegiate career, and no question a big reason why he was able to make it all the way to New York and have success.
What's your key? I mean, you're playing in a big stage, pressure. What's your key to your success? I mean, what do you attribute it to?
No, I'm just trying to keep it simple. Just always trying to work hard every day, trying to make sure I'm as prepared as I can for each game. I mean, it's a long season. Now I'm in my 8th year, so you kind of find out what works for you and what you need to do in order to be as effective as you can on the ice come game time. And that's the biggest thing is figuring out what works for you and understanding the importance of little things, eating right, taking care of yourself in between game days, getting good sleep. All those things add up to.
Now into my sweet spot. Sleeping, eating right. Take me through it, because I think a lot. I talk to a lot of my friends. We're getting old. Like, we want to eat like a pro, because that you're probably eating smart to have that, to refuel, to bounce back. What are some of your, what are some of the things, like, give me your eating schedule?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the biggest thing is not necessarily focusing on what you eat. I mean, you pretty much know what's healthy and unhealthy now at this point in your life when you get old, but it's just the timing, it's the timing. When you get up in the morning, you got to have your first meal pretty quick, because your body has been sleeping and it needs nutrients to get itself going. And then
so you eat right away?
As soon as within an hour, half an hour.
I want to give me an example. What did you eat this morning?
I had 3 eggs scrambled, some avocado, some fruit, a little glass of chocolate milk for some protein, and some yogurt as well. So, yeah, it's a little bit of everything mixed in there. And then obviously, after practice, it's crucial you have a protein shake, you rehydrate, and you get some good protein and veggies in you pretty quick after as well. So I think that's the biggest thing I've learned over the course of playing professional. It's just the timing of your meals and how your body, after you've worked hard on the ice, it needs to recover real quick. And the sooner you can get those nutrients in you, the better off you'll be.
Talking with Ryan McDonagh, captain, New York Rangers. If you have a question, Facebook that message in. And by the way, the 10th person that Facebook messages in is going to win a Ryan McDonagh puck. Why not? Got to give away something.
Yeah.
Recovery, really important, especially playing these back-to-back games, which I'm a big fan of. Not having back-to-back, but how do you recover? I mean, what's the key?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many tools out there. You've got Normatex, you've got cold tubs, you've got.
Are you a cold tub guy? I got a feeling you're a cold tub guy.
I do. I like it. I'm
right in the cold tub.
I like the cold
because it does take that right away, the soreness right out.
Yeah,
or
it helps a lot.
Yeah,
it definitely helps a lot. And then anytime we've traveled, I like to get in the Normatec, get the swelling out of your legs, and that just naturally happens when you're on a plane and traveling. And but yeah, I mean, the Rangers training staff, they do a tremendous job and giving us anything that we ask for, or any new tools out there that might help us feel a little bit better on the ice. They're going to give it a shot.
I'm gonna add, I know it's cliche, but how big a deal is it to be a New York Ranger? I mean, there's no more faithful, loyal. I mean, but how, is compared to other teams, is it as big a deal to be a Ranger?
No, I mean, I've been very fortunate to only play here in New York, so very, very honored and special. But I do get that feeling and how special it is when you acquire new players that come here for the first time. And I'm talking like the marquee players, Marty St. Louis, Brad Richards, Rick Nash. These are guys that are marquee top players in the league that have been playing, for a long time. And then they come to New York, and it's almost as if their eyes get opened about how special and how incredible the opportunity is to be able to call your home rink Madison Square Garden, your home fans being there, and every the way that the Rangers organization treats you, the fans treat you, the total package is pretty incredible. I'm very fortunate to have only spent my time here in New York.
It's Madison Square Garden, baby. I mean, it is special. What do you tell yourself to be your American USA team captain, You've played in some serious Stanley Cup games. What would you tell yourself, the 17-year-old that was about to go off to college, if you had a conversation with him now, looking at everything you've learned and been through, if you had a chance to go back and talk to yourself, what would you say?
Just get ready. Get ready for a lot of excitement and a lot of energy. That's for sure. That's what New York is all about.
Do you think you were prepared though? When you think about the stamina and what a city like this and playing the NHL would what really was required. Like, you think you were prepared for that? I mean, is it?
Yeah, I don't know if you're truly ever. There's no league like this as far as the games, the intensity, the travel. But that's what was an important decision for me, deciding whether to sign after my sophomore year, my second year of college, or go back for my junior year. And that's why I wanted that extra year to get a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger, a little bit better shape.
You probably wanted that fourth year right now. No. You had a good time in college. No way. Wisconsin? Especially around here, they love. The University of Wisconsin is a hot school. Was it fun?
Yeah, it is. It was incredible to see the amount of East Coast people that ended up going to school there. I always thought just be Midwest kids with me, but there was a whole bunch of students from the East Coast and West Coast, just all over. Just shows the pedigree that university has. Is
there a player you looked up to when you were growing up that looks like you kind of want to be a little bit like, that you kind of emulated your game after?
Yeah, when I was growing up, I probably didn't watch as much hockey as maybe some other guys or maybe someone from Canada, but the limited hockey I did watch, it seemed like it was always the Detroit Red Wings on TV and Chris Chelios being a part of that team and all the success that they had. He seemed to be the guy that always caught my eye, and the announcers be talking about how this guy works so hard for his teammates, plays in all these situations, is a leader, is a guy that can be counted on. Just sounded like a guy that you'd want to be one day if you were playing in the NHL. So that was kind of the player I followed along his career once.
What were you watching? If you weren't watching much hockey, were you just not a big sports fan watcher, or do you?
Yeah, I just watched everything. I was fortunate. I had my uncle playing in the NFL, so I was probably following the NFL a little bit closer, whatever team he was playing for. It was a joy to.
We were sideline, get to go to some practices. And
we usually, he was with the Chicago Bears for a handful of years, so we got to catch, they come play the Minnesota Vikings, and we went to Lambeau Field once. We went down to Chicago, and he was with the Rams in St. Louis. We went to St. Louis once, so it was a very special time in my life just to watch him compete at such a high level, and as a quarterback too. Everybody knows the importance of the quarterback for each team. So talk about a leader and always having to be super prepared. It was a great lesson for me in sports.
Let's take a couple questions, Ben. A couple quick ones. Email in your questions if you want to win the puck, or actually we'll answer a couple questions real quick. We only have them for a few minutes, but we figured, Ranger fans got to give you a voice, got to get something in there. By the way, PostCareer, I know it's early. You got plenty of ice left. I get that, but do you think about, especially you've been a big part of New York, so you're going to be welcome here forever. You have a huge fan base. People love you. There's not even the like word. Anything, really, people love you. They love you. You're like part of the fabric in this town. Like, will you stay in New York? Do you have something in mind that you want to do in your future?
Well, we just have a little 1-year-old right now, just turned 1. So, we're just starting to explore school options for early stages. And, you definitely have to start thinking about that. But, what a total area to live in. We live in Rye right now, but being close to the city, having that available, everything that offers, and then the great lifestyle.
You a coach? You're gonna maybe do some coaching, some broadcasting, business.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it'd be tough for me to stay out of sports completely, because I feel like that's what I'm best at, and I like that. I like being around a team atmosphere, that kind of interaction with a group of people trying to get something accomplished together. So yeah, coaching, I've always thought that would be a possibility, but I don't know. I'm not set in stone.
So out of 1 to 100, maybe I'm reading you wrong, but out of 1 to 100, you're like all in. You're completely focused on your family and being the best hockey player you could be.
You got it. That's
kind of been what's going on for about 10, 11 years at the very least.
Yeah.
A couple Friday and Saturday nights in Wisconsin, you diverted maybe. But other than that, you've been locked down on being a great hockey player.
Yeah, I think that's
true.
I've had to earn everything that I've had success-wise in hockey, and I've never maybe not as talented as other players, but definitely wanted to make sure that if I wasn't going to make it to the NHL, it wasn't going to be because of the work that I put in or the commitment that I had to my sport. So I take that with a lot of passion, a lot of pride.
Did you ever think for 1 minute that you weren't going to make it? Did you ever have some self-doubt?
For sure. I mean, my freshman year at Wisconsin, I was one of the last players cut for the U.S. World Junior team, my first year eligible. And it was definitely a tough moment back, looking back in my career. I was pretty upset with myself. I was just drafted pretty high and had a lot of momentum, excitement going to Wisconsin, going to play a big role there. And then not making that U.S. team kind of woke me up a little bit that, got to keep working, keep pushing myself, got to keep improving. And took it as a way of motivation and playing with a little bit of chip on my shoulder there.
A little aha moment?
Yeah, a little bit, I guess you could say. Just like I said, just a little bit of extra kind of kick and motivation and making sure that I'm doing everything possible to help become the best player I can be.
Well, welcome to my world, because that kind of stuff happened to me all the time. But and I guess I always look at that now when I look back, that's a good thing. But who did you turn to like when you had that kind of moment? Was it somebody that kind of gave you that little elevation and push to, hey, wait a minute, don't let a bump in the road, put you on the side of the road kind of thing?
Yeah, I know my coaching staff, my defensive coach there, Marco Sicchi, he was, you could tell right away, he could see that it was definitely a moment where it was hurting a little bit. But definitely my parents too, they know how much hockey means to me and meant to me during that time. So they were keeping my spirits up and making sure that I was continuing to work hard and make sure I was doing whatever I could for Wisconsin.
It's tough when you hit these little, bubbles. It's a test. It's a push, especially it's on a high level. It's not like you could talk to a lot of people. Like I didn't make the national team. Like I could make the little league hockey Pee Wee team. So but you got to keep fighting and realize if not you, then who? Yeah. It's kind of a tough battle, but it's not like you can just talk to anybody about making, it's a special team. There's only a few people making it. What's your favorite moment? I'm going to close on these two notes, but what's your favorite moment non-hockey related? What's something that you'll never forget?
Well, I don't know. Non-hockey related? I mean, I'm sure, my wedding day with my wife was an awesome day in
no practice,
my
no
life.
hockey on that day? You took a full day off?
We had the summer there. We made sure it was well past the playoffs.
Cool.
and well past any kind of distractions there. But then obviously, almost just over a year ago, having our first child be born, that was a really special moment. And
were you there?
I was there.
So you timed that also pretty good?
I did. Well, my wife did. I didn't. We had just won a home game at home at the Garden there, and I just jumped out of the shower and looked at my phone, and my wife said that she was heading to the hospital or that her water broke. So
beautiful.
I remember rushing out on the 7th Ave and jumping in a taxi to meet her, and then the whole night began.
Beautiful thing. You have a favorite hockey moment, something that sticks in your mind that you want to share?
Yeah, I mean, I was fortunate enough to win the Minnesota State high school hockey tournament my junior year, and a lot of close friends on that team that I'm still in touch with. And when you're growing up in Minnesota, high school hockey is such a part of that culture, hockey-wise. And as a little kid, you jump out of school and go watch the tournament down at the XL Center. And then so when I was in high school playing varsity hockey, being able to make the state tournament was just an incredible moment. And then here we are, playing in the championship game with my best friends and my older brother on the team as well. And
wow, you played with your brother?
Yeah, I had an older brother that
God.
He was a senior when I was a junior when we won the championship. So a great moment for us too, and my parents as well, because of all the, obviously the hard work that they put in driving us around for minor league hockey, and they got to enjoy the championship with us together there, our school's first championship. So a lot of great things
cool.
all counting into one.
Is there a mantra in your locker room right now that you guys kind of thrive on, a little, kind of a saying, as far as staying together, fighting hard, that kind of thing?
Yeah, I mean, for us, it's might be a joke, joking around with guys a lot, but playing with that swag, I think that's a big thing for our group. We've got a lot of young guys mixed in with some older guys, but when you have that confidence, both individually and as a team, it's tough to stop. So, we've obviously won a handful of games here in a row now, and you definitely have that swagger going into games that you kind of, no matter what happens, a bad bounce or a couple goals against, we're going to somehow find our way back into this game, and that's something that you hope grows over the course of a season, and it's great that it's happening now for us.
My theme for your team is it's not how good you are, it's how good could you be. Yeah. Because I think it's just endless how good you could really be. I'm glad you got off to the bad start. People thought I was crazy. I'm like, we've gotten off to a good start a whole bunch of years. Forget that. Get off to a bad start. Realize what it feels like to lose and not want that feeling or the other stuff that comes with it. And then you go the rest of the season not wanting any part of what you experienced at the beginning. And you just go uphill from there. Yeah, it's a great plan you guys have. It's phenomenal.
And I think that's what our coaches laid out for us too, right? To start the year like that. No, I mean, it is. It's such a frustrating feeling. You put in the work, all summer, training camp, trying to come together as a team and lose a couple games early on like that in the fashion that we did. We always talk about finding ways to win games, and it just seemed like we were finding ways to lose games. But it's a good lesson to learn, like you said. How one play, one shift can be the difference here. And I think our group is really taking to heart that and understanding how important, every time you're on that ice, what's expected of you.
It's good to see you. Trust me, it's not how good this team is. It's how good they could be. Something tells me come April, May, it's going to be special. Anyway, Ryan McDonagh, thank you very much. If you're watching, you want to win some autograph stuff, message in your favorite Ranger moment. Ranger in why he's your favorite player. Thank you so much, my friend.
Thank you. Good
Appreciate the relationship too, man. Love it.